Hi, I'm Craig from Charlestown Hypnotherapy. I work with people for many different reasons in my hypnotherapy practice, and I do most of my work nowadays via Zoom, so you can work from the comfort of your own home or wherever you happen to be at work. So I work with lots of different things, as I said, but I specialise in chronic pain. So today I just wanted to talk about chronic pain. And as a lot of people know, chronic pain is defined as pain that lasts at least 12 weeks and can continue for years. There's different definitions for different amounts of time. It doesn't really matter. People know if they've got chronic pain or not. And the pain may feel sharp or dull. It can cause burning or aching sensations in the affected areas. It may be steady or intermittent. It can be coming and going without any apparent reason. Chronic pain can occur in just about any part of your body. The pain can feel different in the various affected areas. Some of the most common types of chronic pain include headaches or migraines, post-surgical pain, post-trauma pain, lower back pain, cancer pain, arthritis pain, neurogenic pain, pain caused by nerves, and pain that isn't caused by disease, injury or nerve damage. There can be all different ways of experiencing pain, and pain starting. Sciatica and back pain is very common, as are migraines. I also work with fibromyalgia. So according to the American Academy of Pain Medicine, more than 1.5 billion people around the world have chronic pain. It's the most common cause of long-term disability. In the United States, it can affect around 100 million Americans. So pain is a very big and very much a worldwide problem. From my perspective, I've studied a lot about pain, studied some hypnosis, and I've studied the treatments, the various treatments that are available, and the various histories on pain. And my belief, after studying hypnosis and all the work of a doctor called Dr. John Sarno, he wrote many books, and he found in his studies and his work that pain is emotionally based. In his book Healing Back Pain and his other books, Dr. Sarno introduces the concept of what's called tension myositis syndrome, or TMS, and it's often referred to as mind-body syndrome as well. And in my mind, the terms can be used interchangeably. It's the same thing. In TMS, pain symptoms are caused by a mild oxygen deprivation via the autonomic nervous system because of repressed emotions and psychosocial stress. So the more the body stresses, the more it needs something to react, to distract you from the stress or the things that are going on. This is not to say that the pain's all in your head, not at all. And it's not to say that the pain's not real. For people who have TMS or MBS, our built-in tendency is to repress unpleasant, painful or embarrassing emotions. When we repress those emotions, our bodies respond to the real or perceived threats that make up our lives, even though we're not even aware of the action that's happening. But it's happening below the skin, so to speak, below the surface. But unfortunately, things can get complicated by the fact that most of us, most of the time, aren't even aware that we're repressing our emotions. For some of us, controlling, hiding from, and or ignoring our emotions has become such an integral part of our lives that we're not even aware, we don't even realise we have those emotions. As Dr. John Sarno explained in his book, it's an interesting fact that the overwhelming majority of emotional, mental activity occurs below the level of consciousness. The human mind is, as they say, something like an iceberg. The part that we're aware of, the conscious mind, represents such a small part of the total. And it's the subconscious mind that all the complicated processing goes on in. And this condition begins and ends in the subconscious mind. Working with a psychoanalyst colleague, Dr. Sarno discovered that there's another, more active component of TMS, one that purposefully works to distract you from figuring out what's going on in your emotional world. He found that physical distractions, i.e. pain, work really well as defense mechanisms against their emotions not bubbling to the surface, because they have the ability to really grab one's attention. Physical pain, particularly if they're painful, frightening or disabling. So what Dr. John Sarno found was that it's almost as if the mind decides that physical pain is preferable to an emotional one, believing it's helping you in some way. Understanding this helped many people see more clearly the role that pain was playing in their lives and how it was helping them avoid some significantly emotional stuff. So there's so much more going on for someone with TMS than just the physical pain of the moment. In Healing Back Pain, Dr. John Sarno explained that we can become conditioned to believe that a certain activity or a person or a time of year or a place can cause pain. If, for example, you got up from a chair one day and you felt a twinge in your lower back, it's possible that your brain may associate sitting with being the cause of your pain. Your brain may come to expect that pain the next time you're sitting down. It may just associate with that and believe that that's what's going on. So without even realizing it, we create these habits. And these habits can be very difficult to break, of course, especially if we're not even aware of what's going on. It's happening below the surface. The power of conditioning can be so strong that we can even be conditioned by the things that people tell us or even what we read, which makes it even trickier to break those bad habits. So, Dr. John Sarno and other authors cite many fascinating examples of how conditioning contributes to the pain. As they say, it seems that we may sometimes be more similar to Pavlov's dogs than many of us might want to believe. So for some, simply knowing that their source of their symptoms, of that pain, is inattention, oftentimes that's enough for their pain to disappear. Dr. Sarno reported that about 95% of his patients that went through his program and healed their pain without a need for psychotherapy. They got better just because they became aware of what was happening between their minds and their bodies. The first step often involves being able and willing to look at the things in your life differently, to start thinking a different way about how and why you're experiencing pain. To quote the wonderful Dr. Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Healing back pain includes several anecdotes about the type of people that commonly experience TMS. Other resources discuss the role of personality in more detail, but for starters, Dr. John Sarno's view was that people who have TMS can, not always, be conscientious perfectionists, need to excel, not just achieve. They can be competitive, determined to get ahead, and more critical of themselves than others are of them. They work hard, sometimes excessively. They can worry a lot. They are often compulsive and irritable. They sometimes have low self-esteem or deep-seated feelings of inferiority. They can carry a strong, some say overly developed sense of responsibility. And they can often be very accomplished and doing very well. These are just some ideas, some common traits. Not everybody, of course, fits into the mould, so to speak. So at Charlestown Hypnotherapy, I have a pain elimination program where we can explore the basis of your pain, and then we can work at making those changes, making them the changes at that deeper level. So you can have a higher level of appreciation for your subconscious mind, your conscious mind and your body. We work together to make some positive changes and let that old pain go, because it's no longer required. Once you realise that they're just old stuck emotions and that we can let them go, that's when you can make those wonderful changes. It's a matter of just getting to know yourself, getting to know the subconscious mind, getting to work together more like a team again, where sometimes some people can feel disjointed, like the mind and the body just don't seem to be working well together, don't seem to be aligned. We get that connection happening again, make those changes, and you can see those results such a fast. It's such a wonderful change, and it can just happen so quickly. So I hope this has been of some interest to you, and I hope you appreciate that if you have chronic pain, we can work together and we can make some wonderful changes. So if you're interested, please make contact and we can talk about how we can work together and how I can make a plan that specifically suits your needs. So I'd like to thank you for listening, and I may speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.